Abigail's take was pretty interesting, IMO. Yeah, like, problems with Abigail aside, I totally understand where she's coming from with the gender dysphoria thing. 100%. And, I mean, she phrased it like dog shit over Twitter, but I've heard the full argument. I get the full argument, and I understand where she's coming from. And I think, like, the supporting logic under her argument is very strong, you know? Oh, I saw a similar discourse right here. And I guess I'll weigh in on it while I have it on my mind because it was getting a lot of negative feedback where a person thinks, holy shit, is that a fucking tranny? And they say, hi, what are your pronouns? And this person, who's my oomphy, by the way, says, please don't do this. And it encouraged a lot of discourse. And so I'm in the perfect state of mind to address this because I'm cisgender and also plastered. So that's why I'm stepping in here to say, I completely agree with this tweet. For those who don't know why I'm saying that, all right, only the wokest of the woke will ask for a person's pronouns. And I've talked to a lot of people who are the wokest of the woke. And I have never been asked for my pronouns. They ask people who are visibly trans. See, a lot of trans people want to benefit from the same privilege that I get, which is that people assume my pronouns. Personally, the approach that I take is when I see somebody who is feminine and is presenting feminine, and there are a million ways you can do that, I will assume their pronouns and I will use she, her. And if I'm corrected, I'll just use the corrected pronouns. And I just stick with that. I think most people, especially trans people, prefer to have people assume their pronouns because colloquially, like in practice, the act of asking a person for their pronouns is basically a way of indicating that you've clocked them. That's not always the case, but in trans people's experiences, that is often the case. Again, I have literally never had my pronouns asked for. I'm almost 30, talk with a lot of woke people. It's never happened. So yeah, I think that's fine. And by the way, I have never met a trans person who has said, "Are you really assuming my pronouns?" I've never seen that in my life. In reality, we assume pronouns all the time because it's like in practice, it's kind of like necessary linguistically. Like it's not necessary, but that is kind of how we function. And I think that most trans people understand that, and they're okay with the ambiguity. And by the way, if there is ambiguity, just say they. Like if a person is genuinely kind of like difficult to know what they're going for with their pronouns, just say they. And if they don't like the they can correct you on that, and that's fine. But yeah, they is fine. And that way you're never like indicating the, hey, can you confirm to me that you're trans by giving me your pronoun? You could just say they, and that's fine. I think this is a fine tweet. You know, I'm only inferring here, but I feel like if I was a transgender woman and I looked like a transgender woman in the sense that I was radiant, but also, at least to people with an eye for trans people, clockable, it would bother me if some well-meaning woke person went up and said, you know, hey, what are your pronouns? When they're like wearing a dress and they have long hair and they have makeup on and they have visible breasts, you know, and like going up and like, what are your pronouns? When you know damn well for any cisgender woman, you would run up and you would just say she, because you wouldn't even think about it. You know, I get it.